Hi guys, and this is a video or a video blog without video. Anyway, this is a thing to go through verbal intelligence. It's a little bit of a follow-up to my previous blog on people with verbal intelligence, which is higher than non-verbal intelligence. And so my analysis, thoughts on this topic that I think may be interesting to think about. So really, what having a verbal intelligence that's higher than your non-verbal intelligence, what that means is, as a person, you are going to worry about things more in general. It means you're always thinking, does this thing cause that? Does that thing cause that? Does this, what this person did to me, mean this or that? What are the implications? And what should I do? This kind of slightly ruminating or worrying type of thoughts, and a lot of those hard to shut down sometimes, which is a bit different from what other kind of people with a more balanced intelligence profile might have. So this can become both bad and good, and I think in general, one observation may be that the people with higher verbal intelligence, and this is just an assumption or guess by the way, that they can end up with a lot of wealth. And this is because of how useful verbal intelligence is for abstract reasoning, as well as using language to get your points across. The combination of those two things allows to achieve many things that other people wouldn't be less capable of doing. It certainly gives you a set of tools to kind of work through management level problems, sales level problems, in general, kind of this abstract level. So again, the higher you kind of make in an organizational structure, the more you tend to have abstractness in the problems and topics you deal with. So that's an immediate kind of place which makes having this a verbal type of thinking, verbal intelligence, useful. So that's why I think it's something that can allow you to end up with quite a bit of wealth and income, and certainly nice thing in that regard. But about other stuff, so there's also bad stuff, and really it's like having a bit of a wild horse stallion, and trying to control it, which is that it is really because your brain kind of produces more stuff. So it's a higher level of activity, thought activity, which it has to be channeled in the appropriate place for it to turn the good way. If you kind of start doing something bad which is not productive to you and not something you want to really be doing, then it can kind of throw you off and hurt self-esteem and so on, which is something that people with a more balanced intelligence profile would have much less problems with. But they're much more able to do things they don't like, or things that might not be productive or good for them in the long term, while staying kind of happy and content with being involved in those. So that's why it's a kind of a double-edged blade. It's good, but it also makes a lot of things more difficult than what other people who deal with them, how it is for them. So that's some of my thoughts. So really, just to continue after a slight pause. So what this means also is that having high verbal intelligence kind of channels into being a worrier. You just worry more about stuff with which other people are happy with. You worry about your family, what your friends are doing, what kind of job you do, or do you need to change, or how you need to deal with that. And this is part of the power. Having this kind of worrying is it's almost like the second half, or the other side of being able to argue well for things. So it means that you kind of struggle with in some ways you can't turn it off. If you're good at arguing stuff, you can't kind of say, okay, I'm going to turn it off. I'm not going to, I'm just going to do stuff and not care much about how they go, how they turn out. So yeah, it's good and bad. It's good and bad, and really, it kind of limits to your what kind of work you can do, which is kind of what I went more in depth in the original video. As far as my own status is concerned, some of the stuff I mentioned last video was that I wasn't really happy with the kind of technical work I was doing, and more recently I've been transitioning more into work where I can express myself more verbally, so to say, and that is something that is in progress. I'm still quite a long way to go to being and doing stuff that I am happy with. So yeah, it's a process. I think that's kind of the point I wanted to get across really in this vid, and the whole idea of how this whole idea of worrying is a key and essential part of being a verbal type of thinker, having higher verbal intelligence as opposed to non-verbal. So yeah, I hope this makes sense, and I'll upload more videos as I have more thoughts and ideas on this. Thanks.